is an indication that nobody who has been drafting this legislation is looking to cut medical reimbursement in half. That's just not true. Next card is, it is time to fire the Homeland Security Czar and get someone in who knows the security of Giuliani. Knows nothing about radical Muslims. We had a very serious incident right before the holidays that could have been catastrophic. Fortunately, it did not occur. There were clear failures in a system, and the President has indicated in a very serious manner that whether it is the intelligence agencies, whether it is the TSA, whether it's the Department of Homeland Security, there does have to be a renewed assessment, top to bottom, as to how we've been doing things since it was enacted under President Bush. What I would propose to you, because this is a very serious matter, I believe that George Bush and I believe that Barack Obama are absolutely and were committed to making sure we never suffered a terrorist attack in the United States. I have no question on my mind about the intent of either one of those gentlemen. And the fact is, this is a difficult process. One, you are dealing with people who want to commit evil, who are willing to die themselves. And the problem is there are instances where maybe we have had problems, but I also think there are a lot of instances that we are not aware of that problems were averted. But if 1 out of 1,000 of these people has a chance of success, we have to be vigilant. But to suggest that the administration is uncaring, I think is not appropriate.
Opening the gates at Guantanamo, that doesn't give us security.
The next question is, we do not need any new taxes. We do not need taxes raised. We do not need health care. And we do not need cap and trade.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
Let me talk about no new taxes in a little different vein. We cover some health care here. If you recall, there were about $1.3 trillion of tax cuts enacted in 2001. And I hope all of you mightily benefited and got a lot of money out of those taxes. And given the laughter and nodding of heads, you all understand that wasn't for you, and I didn't vote for it. Looking ahead, in 2011, most of those tax cuts that were put into place during the first year of the Bush administration are set to conveniently expire on someone else's watch. Having said that, the fact is, just because they were enacted under President Bush doesn't mean some of them don't have great value. I had mentioned, and I supported, the exemption on pay-go to continue the alternative minimum tax exemption. There will be other provisions as we deal with these. In 2010, taxes will be a very prevalent issue that should be kept in place. Others, as we examine them, should perhaps be modified and some done away with. But the issue of taxes generically will be a very important one looking ahead to 2010. Why should we trust government to run health care when they have done such a terrible job with Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and the post office?
Good question.
Each of the government programs just mentioned are highly in debt and quite inefficient, and can we expect anything different? I would argue that that is not necessarily true.
How's that? How's that?
Hold on.
Let him explain.
On the post office, and I stand to be corrected.
Sure.
Until legislation, and I'm guessing by a factor about 20, 25 years ago, there was significant change in the operation of the United States Postal Service, and there was a mandate that they make money. My understanding, and again, I stand to be corrected on this, is the only time the Postal Service ever made money was during the Civil War. You think about it for, and not because postal workers aren't efficient or it's not a good system. That is a function of government that is enumerated in the Constitution of the United States. And we live in Highland, we live in Maryville, we live in populated regions, and it's pretty efficient getting the mail delivered. Well, my mother came from Eagle River, Wisconsin, population about 1,000 on a good day, except during the summer. Who's going to deliver mail to all of these rural addresses and all of these little communities? And that's a required service of the government. Can the Postal Service do a lot better? Absolutely. And they face intense competition because of the internet and the continued increase in the number of deliveries they have made. It's quasi-public, and they still are under an obligation to make money. As far as Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security, I would, again, not propose to anybody in this room. They are perfectly run. Again, we're talking huge programs.
Highly in debt.
The question is, do we have fraud that is committed by some individuals? And people laugh. And it's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. If somebody commits a fraud in any of these programs, they are stealing our money, and they ought to be prosecuted. People at these forums says, well, I know about so-and-so. Then you should contact our office. We will put you in touch tomorrow morning with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Hammond so they can be prosecuted, because that is theft. But I would pose to you, a program like Social Security is well run, and it is not in debt, and it is not broke. I see one Cubs hat here. What I like to say in these meetings is worry more tomorrow about the Cubs winning the pennant. No, hey, I'm a Notre Dame guy. You can go after me on that case. Now, Social Security is solvent until 2037. Everybody here is smart and says, hey, whoa, wait a minute, we got young people back here. That's not good enough. I absolutely agree with you. But the fact is, it is solvent until